Hello and welcome to the STB Racing League Season 30 Mexico City Grand Prix. We are here live in Mexico, Ciudad de Mexico. Okay, sorry, I was just looking at something. We're here, guys, for Tier 4. Round 3 of the new season of the STB Racing League. You join us, as you could see from the qualifying results, a very closely contested Mexico City Grand Prix qualifying session. And we do have wet weather. There is rain here in Mexico for the first time this week. Hello, Footy Joe. Welcome to Mexico. It's great to be here. This is one of my favourite tracks on their calendar, personally. So you can come and support me tomorrow in Tier 6. It's going to be an absolute banger. But this race, we're going to turn our attention to Tier number 4, which I don't know really about this race tonight. The attendance, not the greatest. We'll get that sorted for next week. My only concern is it's going to be a wet race, which isn't really going to offer... Who the fuck is that joining? Well, you're too late, mate. Isn't really going to offer many opportunities for overtaking and battles, to be completely honest. Yeah, we're just not going to have many battles. So, well, we may not, but we will see. But a very closely contested Grand Prix qualifying session. I believe Mafia is on pole. Yes, he is. George Pudding second, third is Aaliyah, fourth is SK, fifth F Parsons, sixth Lucas, seventh Mr. Racer, eighth Gecabre, ninth is Frisco, 10th is FaZe Finlay, 11th Sazoom, 12th Towels, 13th Restarev, 14th Rich, and 15th is Jahan Gilliant. But they're going to line up on the grid then for the Mexico City Grand Prix live from Mexico. And it's lights out and away they go. It's going to be who's going to be able to get a good traction start here. As I've nearly bit my lip as the driver's now going to bite their lips as they come down now to turn number 1 in their slipstream. We've got about 6 wide going down into that first corner. We saw it in real life. There was contact at the first corner. The Rebels at the inside of the Williams. Bit of contact there. And there's Saubers getting involved. That is Gecabre trying to get through the absolute melee of turn number 1 and 2, and Towers has had a bad traction zone there, so has the racing ball of Rich, but it looks like the drivers have got through kind of cleanly. They're just going to now tiptoe themselves through this infield first stadium section, and Mafia has already pulled 1.5 seconds. He is dominating this race so far. Look at the Sauber, he's back up the inside. Have a look at this. You've got Gecabre trying to get the move done in the wet conditions. He's got the move done. FaZe Finlay and the McLaren. Side by side. That is going to get involved as well. Side by side action. The Williams and the McLaren. They've come together mid the S section. And now you've got the Towels trying to get involved. It's like 5 wide as they come through the S section for the first time here in Tier 4 Mexico City Grand Prix. And Towers that's Tier 4 11th, but he's got the McLaren around the outside, the racing balls around the outside. Everyone's going off the track, turning, and the racing ball's been hit. That's Rich. He's been hit under braking, down to 15th. And Frisco's going to get his way through to 11th, but Mafia had a great first sector. It looks like Aaliyah has done a great job in that final section of the track to get himself back within, if it was dry, that DRS situation. So there you go. I think Rich is going to get past Giant. And he's up the inside for 13th, is he? Yes, he is. Rich has had a bad traction moment there. And Giant needs to try and get through, but he can't find a way through just yet. God, these drivers are really making moves now. Talking about moves, here we go. Towles is going to be pushed to the inside line into the second section now. And he's been hit by his teammate. Both McLarens are doing up, I don't even know, wrestling through that middle section. Up the inside of the Mercedes. Can't be patient, it seems. And Frisco's up to 11th on his debut here in STB. God, it's kicking off in this midfield tonight. Let's get the Twitch chat up. Hello to everyone watching. Tell me, where are you watching from? Let's look at the front though, because once again for this STB season 30, Mafio is now battling again with Aaliyah Marley. So these two are definitely the guys to be looking out for, I think, this season. But SK is close behind, followed by George Pudding. So it is still quite a closely contested field here in Mexico. And I think Rich is retired. Yeah, that's his race over and done with. And Mafio is struggling there with that back end, but he seems to be very good in this first section of the track. But the Ferrari does gain through the middle. He's gaining a lot through the corners. So I think maybe Mafio might be running a slightly drier setup. As to be completely honest with you, the rain isn't actually falling that heavily. So I don't know if we got the rain for the whole race, or if we just got it for like a little segment of it, but it's not looking too bad as Faith Finlay's got a pen. But Aaliyah then is going to set his sights and trying to get past Mafio. But I honestly think Mafio is running a low wing setup as Aaliyah tries to make a move up the inside. Taos is going to get involved in some sort of contact, it seemed, down into the final section of the track. That bollard's been taken down as well. Yeah, look at how much Mafio's gaining down the straight. He's gaining a good 3 tenths, and he's actually in none as well, as Finlay has retired from the Grand Prix. He's using a lot, Mafio. He's using quite low wings, so it's helping him down the straight sections of the track. But he's still able to keep it. There you go. See, like, he's able to just gain so much time, and he's in none as well. So he's just able to really just save that ERS as well, and then Aaliyah can kind of come back at him in this middle sector of the track. Where Mafio is going to struggle because of his seemingly lower wings. Especially in the wet as well, like, you gain a lot using higher wings through the corners, and now Mafio's just going to pull away again. So obviously if Mafio was using overtake mode and he was using medium, I'd understand why he'd be pulling away as Ali's trying to come the inside. He's got better turning speed, but he doesn't have the straight line speed, because now look at that braking power as well on the Ferrari. He's really breathing down the neck now of Mafio, and Mafio is just now going to just pull away down the straight. Look at the pace that he has got down this straight. He's a good 10 miles per hour quicker than the Ferrari down the straight. I think SK might be doing something similar, because he has got slipstream as well. That might be helping him. This is a very long straight, remember. The Williams drivers are really coming through at the moment, really coming through with their battles. Gekabre's on the back of the Aston here. Can he try and maybe make a move into the next section of the track? Here we go. He's going to use overtake mode. Going to be in that slipstream. Down into the next section of the track. The Aston Martin's going to go defensive. He can't make the move just yet. So he's going to have to stay behind. Let's see then, Aaliyah, let's see how much he's going to gain through this section of track now. He's gained a good 5 tenths. He's gained a lot of time, But it's just that straight line speed that Mafio has got. And Suzuma's span, I think. But he's made some sort of a mistake, or he's lagged out the session. So I don't know, though, if I can get him back in, because my game is bugged. So it's not actually showing anyone online, unfortunately. Or the people that we need, anyway. And I can't get him back in. So he's not showing on my list. So we can't actually get him back in. Just give me one moment. Tier 5 is crazy. How do you mean Tier 5 is crazy? What's going on in Tier 5? Tier 4 is a little bit boring because of the rain so far. But hopefully Aaliyah can try and get this gap down. His gap is currently 1 second. I'm just going to tell Sazum that I can't see him. Right then. So I don't really know if we can get him back in. I'm not sure, to be honest. Let's see. No, he's not showing up. Right, sorry guys. Someone's retired. That's Towels. He's out of the race. He's had enough. Right then. Let's get back on the stream a minute. This is really dead, guys. I'm really sorry. Mexico has not delivered what I kind of wanted Mexico to deliver. I can't really lie. It's a bit. So Zoom, if you're here, I can't find you on my list. It's my game. It's fucked. It doesn't work. As you can see, I've apparently got 32 people, and you're not showing up on the list here. And if I go down to offline, I'm showing you right now. If I go down to offline, it literally shows the console players. That's it. So I literally can't invite. My game is bugged. It doesn't allow me to invite anyone unless they're online right now in the lobby. So, right then, well, Aaliyah has, Gekabre is past F. Parsons now. How is it only lap 8? This race is really dragging. But yeah, there you go. And Frisco's retired as well. Why is everyone retiring from the Grand Prix? As SK, here we go, side by side with the Ferrari. Here we go. Ferrari's going to go defensive. And SK is trying to get the move done, but he's off the track. There you go. He's actually all 4 wheels out the white line there. That's not good. And up the inside, and he's going to lose the position to George Puddin. That's not good at all for him. He's lost another position in this race. And the gap from Mafio to Aaliyah has gone up now. It's going to go up probably now to 3 seconds. Mafio is really dominating so far here in Mexico. And yeah, this race, I don't know. It's kind of a write-off. Every single person in here now can actually score points. So this is definitely kind of the worst race of the week, if not worst race of the season, if all tiers are included in that list. It's not looking good. And George Puddin's trying to get the move done on Aaliyah, but Aaliyah's trying to have a look back at him up the inside, but he can't get the move done. And Aaliyah there down to P3. SK is going to try and have a better exit though. He will have better straight line speed as well. DRS not activated, of course. ERS though. And Aaliyah can late brake. He's gone a bit deep. He's gone deep as well. SK. Come on, get that move done. Up the inside. There was a bit of contact at the apex there, but he has got that move done. He's up 2p3 here in Mexico. Do tell me, guys, what's going on in Tier 5 right now. And what's that Ferrari doing? He's going clean off the track there. This race is really not giving what needs to be gave. Up the inside of the Red Bull, though. Can the Red Bull do it? Yes, he can. He's off the track, though. Up the inside for the next bit. Elias trying to hold it around the outside. But Luca's going to have the better power. But no, Elias trying to come back at him. Back up the inside. And it's going to be Elia who is going to be triumphant there in that battle. And Luca is going to get him down the straight with that ERS situation. Looks like he's got lower wings as well compared to the Ferrari. And all this is helping Gecabre catch back up as well. But Elia's trying to have a look because Elia has got better pace in the technical sections of the track due to his higher wings. But Luca has been able to break away now. And the gap to SK now 2.2 seconds. And Elia very late on the brakes there, trying to have a look up the inside. But he cannot. And Luca will be P4. But Elia might gain a little bit of time through this infield technical section. George Pudding picks up a 3-second time pen. Look at Gecabre, he's come in very, very quickly. 2.2 is the gap, so he has gained over a second this lap. And Elia is in the pit lane. So it looks like the intermediates are not faring well for Elia, and he wants to get on a fresh set of boots. Into the pits he comes. And it's going to drop him all the way down to last place, P10 of the drivers racing. So yes, guys, this race pretty fucking dead, but it's not dead for Mr. Racer because he's looking racy now as they come through the final of the first two corners into the next part of that chicane part complex section, and he's up to P7. There you go. Overtake mode being used, and now he's going to bolt away and see if he can get that gap of 2.7 seconds to Restorev down. Absolutely. But yeah, Mafio in a commanding position so far in this Grand Prix. Nothing is really bothering him. The gap is 3.3. He's able to just extend that down the straights. So, he's even in non as well. He's in non through all these sections. Solid drive so far for the Williams driver. And he'll be very happy to know that Elia has already boxed onto another set of inters. And Restorev is in the pit lane. Drivers are coming in. Mr. Race is in. F. Parsons is in. So they're all coming in. A fresh set of intermediates. It looks like the tyres are wearing extremely quickly here in Mexico. I'm just going to quickly try and view STB League 2 just to see what's going on. They probably have more viewers than us, so I'm not too fussed really. Twitch. They've got about the same amount. There you go. Right. So Leah is catching up to the drivers ahead. Gap is 10.6. Luca So yeah, the gaps are just really big at the moment. Not really anything to say, if I'm honest. I think I'd much rather be in that tier 5 lobby. George Pudding's in the box. Is anyone else going to come in? Gakabre is going to carry on. Giant's going to carry on. And Leah's definitely going to carry on because he is on the fresh intermediates. George Pudding then is in the box. So he is pitting. And yeah, Leah's fastest lap of the race, but I don't even think he's gonna overtake George Pudding here. Yeah, look at the gap there. That is a big gap there to the Racing Bull. And Gakabre sliding through this middle section. I can't tell if the rain is getting worse or if it's improving or if it's just staying the same. I actually can't tell. Fucking hell. Mafio is in a class of his own tonight. Fucking hell. 6.1 seconds at the moment, which is definitely one of his tracks. Definitely a track that he enjoys. He's going to carry on for another lap. Luca's losing that back end. Anyone else going to come into the box? I don't think they will. Yeah, very small lobby tonight, guys. It must be said, very small lobby. Now Leah's picked up a 3-second time penalty. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. Let's have a look then. So Luca is able, did he overtake SK or has SK got the move done? I don't know. But anyway, all I know is Mafio is dominating this Grand Prix so far. And Luca is trying to get this move done on SK. Gap is 7/10 of a second. And he's really sliding through this middle section of the track. Right, see if Mafio is going to come into the box. It is lap 14 of the Grand Prix. And he's sliding. And he's going to carry on. So the thing is, Mafio's just got an insane gap, an insane pace at the moment. He doesn't actually need to worry about coming into the box. George Pudding then is on a fresh set of the intermediates, and as you can see, the grip that he's got compared to the Ferrari ahead, he's going to move to the right hand side, and he's just going to blast past the Ferrari into P5. And there you go, up in a P5. That is George Pudding up another position. But you've got Gakabre, Luca and SK. These are the three drivers that Marley, the guy in 7th, will be looking to try and jump in the pit lane. Those of you watching as well, I apologise for the dead race. It's not the best race to watch, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, but you can join us tomorrow for tier 6 and 7, 6, 7 for that tomorrow, where we do go once again to Mexico City, and Mafia will go on to the 16th lap now of the Grand Prix. Gap is 7.7 seconds, and Luca is in the pits. So he's going for that undercut move. He's going for those fresh sets of intermediates. Giant's in as well. Aaliyah looks to be struggling. I don't think he likes these wet conditions. Or maybe these guys are waiting for maybe the track to dry out. I don't know if the rain is due to stop falling. I'm not the weatherman, unfortunately, so I'm not too sure about that. But yeah, SK and Maffio, 1-2 for Williams at the moment in this Grand Prix. SK is on for the podium in this race. He just needs to kind of, well, not lose out to Luca. But Restorev could be Luca's enemy here if Luca can't clear him in this part of the track. And he's found him at a very difficult place here because he's in that middle section and he's got the dirty air as well. And I think that is SK covered for the pit stops in terms of whether he would have or wouldn't have been jumped by Luca. Is he going to come in? No, he's going to carry on. Wise move there from SK. If I was Gacabre, I'd probably try and box maybe. No, he's going to carry on. Okay. Right, now Luca there can try and get himself on a bit of a charge. He's on 5-lap younger intermediates than Restorev, so if he needs to try and overtake this guy. George Puddin as well. Let's see what he is going to do. Gap is 3 seconds. This is the thing with wet races. The gap is so kind of big. It's kind of difficult to have interesting races in the wet conditions. So that's the thing with Formula 1 in 2025. Just a quick little thing I want to talk about while it's the race is a bit dead. Obviously, yesterday we had the announcement. We had the announcement that obviously F1 26 will not be a game. It will obviously be the DLC, which at first. Hang on. Hello, Vasa. Welcome if you're still in here. Yeah, there's only 10 driving here, Links. It's a bit dead, but SK is in the pit lane, and George Punn's going to carry on. Gacabre's in the box as well, so they've gone slightly longer than everyone else. Let's see there. Sorry, where Luca's going to be compared to SK. SK has been jumped by Luca. And Mr. Racer's retired. Why have you retired from the race? He was literally on for points. I don't really understand it. I don't know. Maffio, he must be cheating or doing something, because this is a remarkable drive for Maffio. Absolutely incredible drive so far for the Williams. And he is going to come in right now into the box. Your race leader in the pit lane. I think George Puddin will overtake him. But I think even like Alir and that, I don't even think they're going to be able to get past Maffio. Yeah, do you know what? I don't even think they are. Because Maffio's going to be leaving the pits now. What a fucking drive by Maffio. Can we just deep that for a minute? Wow, like he's jumped. He's led for that long. Wow, I'm a bit... Wow. What a fucking drive from Maffio there. And now he's going to... Well, if he can do 18 laps on those inters, he can do another 18. So he is sorted for this race. Luca then, up the inside of the McLaren. and he's going to get the job done up in a P4. So that's him up into another position. Next up is going to be Aaliyah, and Aaliyah is on 5-lap older intermediates. But to be fair, Luca is still on for this podium. Luca is on for the podium in this race. I think the podium... Oh, Zoom can't win, unfortunately, Lynx. He's lagged out, unfortunately. I think the podium is going to be between Luca, probably Luca and SK. I can't lie. I think that's where the podium is going to be, where we're going to be looking at for that. And then Aaliyah will get involved when Luca catches him. So we've still got a bit of a battle for that podium, for those podium positions. But Matthew, let's see if he can try and gain some time on the Racing Bull. Let's see what's going on in Tier 5, guys, because this is really, really boring. Obviously, we do have 2 more days this week of racing. Tomorrow we do go racing Tier 6 and 7, and SK is trying to have a look up the inside of the McLaren, but he can't make a move. Right, so I was looking at something. Luca then has caught up to the Ferrari. So that Ferrari was the first one to box. He boxed very fucking early onto the intermediates that he's on now. And he just doesn't have... Aaliyah just doesn't have the pace, it seems, in the wet conditions. I think the wet is something that he just doesn't like. I can tell. And SK is going to get in the slipstream. But here we go. Luca side by side with Aaliyah into the podium places. My beautiful Serbian driver. He's up to P3. And now you got Restorev versus SK down to turn 1. Is Aaliyah trying to have a look up the inside, though? Into turn 1. No, he's not. But SK is now in P5. So he's got the move done on Restorev. And now we need to try and make a move quickly on the Ferrari ahead. And then see if he can get through on SK. And it looks on Lucas, sorry. It looks like he's going to go for the move already. Making no efforts to wait and be patient. And he's going to come through this infield section of the track, running outside the Ferrari. And he's going to get that move done. That was a sweet little move there from the Williams. And now he just needs to refocus for this S section. As Aaliyah is side by side now with Restorev. This is the most action I think we've had all Grand Prix, ladies and gentlemen. And it's come on lap 21 and the Ferrari's gone a bit... He's out of shape through the S's. And Restorev now is going to have that overtake mode in the slipstream. Oh my God, no, the Ferrari's got a puncher! The Ferrari has got a puncher in Mexico! And he is out of the race! Oh my fucking God, I didn't know what the fuck was happening there. Restorev was catching so quickly, and Aaliyah has got a puncher here in Mexico City. Oh my Lord. And he spun again. Oh my Lord. And he's going to have to come into the pit lane. I don't know. Parsons, for some reason, is on the hard tyres. So that's not going to work, mate. Don't retire, Aaliyah. Come on. He's only done 11 laps on those intermediates. He's only done 11 laps, and Parsons is retired. God, what a dead race. What a dead race, man. Right, well, SK needs to try and get through on Luca, but to be honest, there's really not much to see in this race at the moment now, guys, if I'm being honest with you. Tier 4 have not come through with the entertainment value. SK, though, is catching Luca. 1.4 seconds is that gap. Gap, 1 second. Literally nothing to commentate over. Like, literally. George Pudding, though, is in the box. Another set of intermediates for the Racing Bull. Luca's going to carry on. So this could be the battle for P2 if these guys don't decide to box again. Resta Rev, I think, will get past George Pudding here. It's going to be a race to the first corner, but Resta Rev's got it. But George Pudding is going to be on much better tyres. Obviously 12 laps younger. And yeah, Restov's not. I don't think Restov's going to battle this one too much. And George Pudding up into P4 now. Let's see though if he can catch that 7 seconds to SK and Luca. But these two are concentrating on each other at the moment. SK is concentrating on getting that gap down. 1.2 is the gap. He's trying his best. And Luca's in the pit lane. So Luca's gone for that pit stop. So it looks like, I think we'll be expecting some people to be boxing soon. So I think this is a 2-stopper Grand Prix. Restero's in the pits as well. Alia's race is, of course, done. But he has got a potential 4 points on the board here. So it's not all bad. Oh, he span again. I don't think Alia Marley is a fan of the wet conditions here in Mexico. This has been an awful race for him. And Mafio's got that gap now. 8 seconds to SK. It's just a beautiful drive, it must be said. It's a really just controlled drive so far for Mafio. Hopefully nothing fucks him over for this win. And it should be his first win of the new season. And with Nino not racing tonight, and of course Alia Marley fucking it, and just everyone else really just not having a good time, Mafio is looking good in that championship, it seems. And George Pudding has picked up a pen. 3 seconds. And Giants in the box. Like, these gaps, guys, are mental. Like, the gaps I'm seeing are crazy right now. I don't think a race has been so spaced out, like, in a very long time in STB. Like, this is so... I wouldn't say awful and bad. I'd say just not very good. Tier 4 tonight, they haven't really understood the assignment. They haven't really understood the assignment tonight. Luca, though, is going very quickly, though, at the moment. Gap to the guy in front, to Gecabre, 6.8 seconds. I don't know who's going to get the podium, you know. I mean, SK definitely deserves it. But the tyres that George Puddin is on are a lot younger. I mean, P2, sorry. Because Luca, I don't know if he's got the... I don't know if SK is going to box again, you see. So I'm just going off. If SK does not box... Luca's got to find 13 seconds. And I really don't think he's got that in the bag. If I'm being completely honest. The Leah foxed it again. Here we go, George Puddin then. To be fair, Matthew needs to get them tyres to the end of the Grand Prix. He actually needs to get them tyres to the end of the race. And overtake mode for George Puddin. If all Fox up for the top two, George Puddin could well win this race. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And that would be a spanner in the works. Absolutely. That would be absolute carnage. Thank you to those of you that have stayed in the stream to watch. I know it's not the... I know this is absolutely the worst race of the week so far. As I said, worst race of the season. Opinions on the new Fortnite? I don't know. Is that the F1 one you're talking about? Hello, Dommy, if that's you in the chat, welcome. As you can see, TR4 has been pretty awful. But we are nearing now to the end of this Grand Prix. I think it's always a case in wet weather races that when it rains, it just kind of really increases that skill gap, and especially when you're in a division like Tier 4, where in the dry they're very closely contested, but in the wet it's a completely different story. And George Puddin is going to have that slipstream on SK down the straight. Going to pull to the left. But no, SK's got some good straight line speed. Some very good straight line speed. But George Puddin is able to ride that curb a bit more. Here we go through the first chicane, and SK's gone off the track. That's going to allow Mafio to pull away even more. SK is now trying to battle for that podium position here in Mexico, and George Puddin's going to go up the inside. This is the most action we've had all fucking Grand Prix, ladies and gentlemen. And SK still trying to hold it up the inside of the next bit. George Puddin's got a pen. Round the outside goes George Puddin, but SK's going to force him wide. And SK keeps his P2 position here in Mexico. That is a great bit of defending there. Quite aggressive though, it must be said. But he's holding on for dear life here in Mexico. He wants this second position. He's lost the back end slightly there. I think George Puddin will get him though, down the pit straight. But SK might have lower wings to utilise. He's going to break that slipstream though. Down the straight he goes. Here we go. Here comes George Puddin. Is SK going to late break him? He can't. He doesn't have the grip. But he might have the grip actually on exit, because George Puddin's had a bit of a bad exit there. But I don't think, yeah, I think that's it then. Unless SK can really follow through the S's and try and get him with his lower wings down the pit straight, I highly doubt that SK is going to get that position. But there is the penalties that George Puddin's got. So there is that to look out for as well. Luca then is within the gap of Gecabre, 7/10 of a second. Yes, guys, this has been absolutely awful. For weeks and weeks and weeks. Yeah, SK has actually lost so much time. Gap is 2 seconds. Luca's going to have that slipstream. They're going quite similar paces down the straight. Probably got a difference of like 3-4 miles per hour. Down into turn 1. Gecabre is going to defend that. Gecabre is battling for a P4 finish here in Mexico. And Luca's going to push him through this section of track. Look at the grip that Luca's got, but he's got to be so patient. Is that Leo again with a puncher? Has Leo got a puncher again? Can't change the view. No, he doesn't. Okay. Elia's just not having a good race, is he? He's really fucking not. No one has had a good race here in Mexico, to be honest. It has been a fucking dead race. Here we go then. Luca down into the first corner. Overtake mode going to be used. And he's going to get that move done. Up into P5. But Gecabre... No, sorry. Gecabre's still there, actually. And he's going to defend that. There you go. So Gecabre knows that this race is dead. And he's going to put on a show for us. That is what he has said. Here in Mexico. He said, I know this race is dead. I'm going to defend this position. I'm going to give you guys some content. And now Gecabre. Here we go. And Luca's got the move done. But Gecabre is going to try and get him up the inside of the next bit. But he cannot get the move done. And Luca is now up to P4 in this race. But I don't know if he can gain 5.4 seconds in 3 laps or 3.5, whatever. But we will see. Because SK has definitely dropped off now. And now he needs to try and get the podium. But I'll tell you something. George Puddin is catching Mafio at a rate of knots. Let me tell you that now. Gap is 5.6. And Elias span again. Fucking hell, man. Has he got a puncher again? Oh, my God. Again. He's got a puncher again. How? How the fuck has he got a puncher again? This is his 3rd puncher. And he's span again. Fucking hell. What is going on? Honestly, Elliot, stick it in AI mode. Stick it in AI mode and get 4 points, 2 points, whatever. Just stick it in AI. And just finish this Grand Prix because for I don't know. It's really not. It's just not been the race for him today. And Luca gap is 2.9. He's catching SK very quickly, quicker than what George Puddin is catching Mafio. And it's those wings that are helping Mafio to just kind of keep that gap the same down the straight. He might lose a few attempts through the corners, like there in that final section of the track, but he's just able to just gain about 4 or 5 attempts, maybe 6 down the pitch straight because it's so long. And that's what I think is going to get Mafio that victory on the track. Luca then, he's in that DRS if it was dry conditions. SK's also got a penalty. And he's sliding through the final corner. Here we go, Luca. Coming for the podium here in Mexico. Lap 35 of the Grand Prix. And he's going to get the move done. No, he's not. SK's got much better wings for straight line speed. Best race of the season. Honestly, just wow. I can't even explain to you, Lynx, how insane it is to see that you've actually watched this all the way through. It's mental. Thank you so much for the support. And Luca is going to say thank you, SK, for that fuck up. Because I'm going to come through now, up in a P3. And he's going to get that position on the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. Gone a bit deep, but he's going to have the line, the traction, and the better tyres to keep that position. P3 for Luca. And George Puddin, gap is 4.2. He's just able to gain so much time, but I don't think it's going to be enough for George Puddin here in Mexico. He also's got a penalty as well. Let's see how many penalties he's actually got. Fucking hell, he's got 12 seconds of pens. So at this moment, Luca is getting P2 in this race. Here we go then. Final lap of the Mexico City Grand Prix. I actually cannot believe it. This is actually like the fact that we got going like an hour and 20 minutes ago or whatever into qualifying, it doesn't even feel like that. It actually feels like we started like 6 o'clock or something. This race has dragged like no other race I've ever streamed in the history of this league. It is really bad. Like, this race has dragged really, really bad. So I will be very, very happy to be making my pot noodle after this Grand Prix and allowing myself to have a bit of time to recuperate, because this has been dead. And I'll tell you now, if there was another lap of this Grand Prix, I think George Pudding would have got past Maffeo. Here we go then, into the final section of the track. And Maffeo has dominated this Grand Prix. And he's going to come round that final corner of Mexico City to win at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Maffeo is your race winner, but Luca, because of the penalties, provisionally, Luca is going to come through for P3 here. P2, sorry, in Mexico. And get Carbre spun out of the final corner. That is a disaster for him. He was trying to battle SK for that position. He's got it anyway. P4 for Gecarbre. 5th is SK. Restarev is going to finish in the pit lane. Talk about copying Yano up, mate. And Giant is going to come through for P7. And then Aliyah is going to come and finish this lap off. And there you go. That will be him done and dusted. Absolute disaster for Aliyah in this race. Absolute disaster for him. But you know what? He'll be happy to have just got through this race. And he's managed to finish and get some points on the board. Bravo to him. Because anyone else would have retired, would have left the session, would have called it a day. But you know what, Aliyah, great sportsmanship there. Very respectful to me and all the admins that work so tirelessly to put this league on. So, big up to Aliyah there. Thank you ever so much. Merci beaucoup. Right then. Well, there you go. That is Mexico done and dusted. We can put that in the bin because that was awful. It must be said. Absolutely just drained mentally, physically and emotionally, because that was absolutely awful. The worst race of the season. So that can get packed up. And we will see that, well, whenever really. That was just awful. But guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. Not really much to say. Just well done to Maffeo. Dominant drive from him. Luca, great P2. Kept it on the track. No pens for him. Gecarbre P4. He's back up after having a poor start of the season in Australia. And last week in Vegas. But next week, guys, you can join us for Tier 4. Hopefully it will be a better race in Singapore. For the longest, if you thought that was long and draining, next week is the longest race on the whole calendar. So, there you go. Next week we go to Singapore. But tomorrow on the main account, we have got Tier 6 on racing. So those of you that are watching now, make sure you're tuning in tomorrow for Tier 6. Tier 7 will be on STB League 2. Tier 8 on Friday. And then next week we go to the Marina Bay Street Circuit in Singapore. We'll see you next time.